Good morning, everybody. Happy Sunday. I'm so glad to see you again. We're going to welcome all our friends on. I always imagine that this is like when we open the doors and welcome everybody in.
Right.
Good morning to John Foltz, our artistic director. Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm wonderful.
We are back in my other room.
Yes.
This week. So as you can
more
tell.
Projects.
Yes. So we are in the middle of a house renovation, as you may have heard along the way here. And so this week we're working on the actual brick, which is a much bigger project than we thought. And I think it's going to be a couple weeks it's going to take us to get this done, but it's going to be fantastic when it's done, I think.
It is. The beginning stages look wonderful already. So.
Good. Oh, good. Yeah, it's really something we've wanted to do for 17 years, maybe?
I like how you pointed at a watch, as if that will gauge 17 years.
Yeah, no, long time, a very long time, and so we're pretty happy about that. But we're ready for a Sunday service. We're ready to go. We're not as ready for the meditation. If you heard, if you were meditating with us, it's my responsibility, forgot to put my cat away this morning, and so the cat decided to kind of come through and meow in the middle of my meditation and was trying to have my water and so,
totally ignoring me. I was trying to get her to come over to me. She just looked at me.
Yeah. Nah, she's like, yeah, whatever. So she's on her own. So we have gotten her to her comfortable place for the next hour or so. So she will not be jumping up on your lap during.
During a song.
That would be great. You know. Yeah, she would too. I could see her doing
that's all right.
But yeah,
right.
So
there's a video out there of like there was a cat playing piano and then somebody like orchestrated an orchestra around it. It's brilliant. If you look on YouTube,
to find it.
Yeah, I'll see if I can find it and post
so
a
you
link.
can share it, and we'll share it to the page.
I could picture Coco doing just that, you know, and then we'll just create the symphony around it.
Well, you're giving her a lot of credit that I don't know if she's quite that talented, but you know.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Anyways. But so are you ready to go?
Sure.
Should we go? I think we should.
Sure.
Okay. How about we start?
Let's start. We are one. We are one. I am you. You are me. We are one. And in this unity, we all live in harmony, and peace has come, for we are one, and peace has come, for we are one.
And so just breathing into this moment and remembering that we truly are one with the infinite divine creator of all life, that spirit of God that is in, through, and as all things. And we are one with each other in this interconnected life that we live. I simply know on this morning, as we come together through this gift of technology, that oneness, that connection is palpable. That we remember that even though we are apart, we are connected at the heart. And so the love and the light, the wisdom, the inspiration, the joy makes itself known in our minds, our hearts, and our experience. And that we take from this day that divine connection and move it out into our lives, remembering that the truth really is simply just about love. And so I bless this day, I bless this moment, and each and every person who connects to this video whenever, whether it's in this moment or in the future, that we are part of that divine essence of God and that love expressing. And in that all is well. And with a grateful heart, I allow it to be. And so it is. Amen. So so we have some beautiful flowers this morning.
We do. They're very pretty.
Yeah, isn't that?
What are they for?
Oh, you know, one of the things that we used to do, well, John knows this, and many of you know this, one of the things that we used to do when we were meeting in person, it feels like in the before time.
Like,
it's making me cry a little bit.
Like BC,
But
before
in the
church.
Yeah,
Like
before COVID.
There you go.
Yeah,
Hey.
BC, we would do flower donations. And it was a really lovely way for us to celebrate lots of different events in people's lives. So anniversaries and birthdays and graduations and so many different things. And so actually we worked it out that this is a flower donation this week for a couple who have done flower donations for years. And they he was not going to miss it this week. So these flowers are actually for our beloved Susan Hurst from her love Craig Hurst. And the message is happy 46th to my honey. And he always says AMLA, AMLA, all my love always from Craig. And so these are beautiful flowers for Susan. And she's going to get them. they will be delivered to you, Susan. But they are gracing our altar today, and so beautiful.
It's a nice splash of color.
I think it is. I really like it, and so we want to honor you and celebrate you both. And I hope you have a wonderful anniversary. And just know that we love you and we miss you, and I hope you enjoy your flowers. So. Good job, Craig.
Yes.
You get some points there.
I know,
Craig,
that's
you
like,
know?
I mean, like even in quarantine, she's still going to get her darn flowers.
He's up in the bar there, guys. So just so you know that this is possible. You know, if you need a little, little support there, doing something, you know, give me a call. I can help you with that.
Sure.
And we can take them
Sure.
forward. So isn't that great?
Yes, it's lovely. They're very pretty. I can even smell them actually.
I'm
really glad that they weren't silk flowers. After me saying that, I'll say, like, I can smell.
No, they're real. There's one.
No, they're real.
They're beautiful.
Water and
they're beautiful.
They're soft.
Yes, lovely. So happy anniversary, Susan
Yes.
and Craig. We're so grateful for your support and that we get to celebrate with you. So lots of love to you. So I think we got a song.
We do.
Okay.
We do. We do. This one's a little less chanty than we've been doing, but it fits so nicely with the message today. Lots of you know it.
You know I love it.
Love is my decision. It's up to me to give up my heart. Love is my decision. No one else can tell me to start. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to stand on that bridge. Love is my decision. No one else can make me forgive. And once I decide to change my mind, God will show me how. Love is my decision, right here and now. Love is my decision. It's up to me to dance down that road. Love is my decision. No one else can lighten my load. And once I decide
of Mind pub song.
Yes, I know. I
Can't help it. I just want my coffee.
That's why I close my eyes. Because if I look at you, I'll laugh.
I'm very I just love it. I can't help it. We have our own Signs of Mind pub song. Let's call it that way. So, so that goes out to all of our friends who love it. There's a number of people in our community who love when you sing that song.
It's a good one.
And I'm just knowing that they're happy right now, as am I. So.
Yes.
And so our reading today, again, we are working this year through Science of Mind, 365 Science of Mind by the founder of religious science, Ernest Holmes. And our reading today is on page 272, and it's for today, which is September 13th. So today, the eternal now, we perfect our good. The scripture is from Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 27. The eternal God is thy refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms. Today we say to ourselves, our experience is enriched by perfect faith. Our affairs are in the keeping of the eternal mind. We live in the divine presence. We are guided by infinite wisdom and sustained by limitless love. Today we say to ourselves, we are part of eternal wholeness. We live, move, and have our being in the Spirit of God. We are consciously drawing upon the Spirit for inspiration. We are continuously receiving guidance from on high. Today we remember that the Spirit is not far off, but ever at hand, diffused through us. Today we remember that love is the great lodestone of life, that joy belongs to the Spirit, that the life more abundant is at hand. Today we carefully watch all our thinking, being certain that it sees in everyone it meets a reflection of the divine image, a copy of the divine pattern, a manifestation of the life of Spirit. Whatsoever things are good, lovely, and true, these things I look upon. These thoughts I entertain in my mind. Deep within me, there is a feeling nature that reaches up and out and grasps the full significance of the consciousness of good for myself and for all. And so it is.
And so it is.
That's a big one. We're going to hear more about it in my talk in a couple minutes.
Isn't that handy how that works?
I know, that's how it's working this year. I love it. I love it. So hey, I guess we've got a special treat today.
We do. We have a special treat.
Yeah, we've been missing our guest artists. And
there's an echo in here.
I know, sorry.
No, it's okay. No, it's good. It's good. I mean, we're in agreement on this.
We are, absolutely.
Yeah, I've really been missing them. I'm not used to picking music every single week, and that's not even the least of it. I just miss seeing them and playing with them and interacting with them, and we have such a great roster of people that come to visit us, and I've been missing them.
Yeah.
As I'm sure have all of you.
Well, we love you.
We love you,
and you're
they
great.
Can coexist. You love me, and you miss other people. It's a wonderful thing.
Absolutely.
So we have a special treat today. One of our dear friends, Jami Lula, has agreed to put together a couple video songs for our enjoyment this morning, and I'm grateful and excited about that, and hope you all enjoy what he's bringing to us.
I know, it's so exciting, and technology is so amazing that we're able to magically, it's not magically, but we're able to welcome him into our space, and he gets to be in Los Angeles, and we're here in Southern California, in Fallbrook, and so and here, and so we're so grateful. Jamie's one of the most powerful New Thought musicians, and we've had him a couple of times at CSLTV since I've been there, and he's a dear friend of mine for 20 years, and I am just so grateful to have him back with us and to share a song with you now and then after my talk. So here comes Jami, everybody. Enjoy it. We'll see you in a minute.
All right.
Good morning. Hope y'all are doing well. In my life I have been searching for something, but you were my dream. You're perfect, you're golden, you're light, you're love, you're perfect, you're golden, you're my light, my love. When I breathe, when I swallow, caress I feel. When I listen, oh, I hear the most beautiful music out of nowhere. Oh, you're perfect, you're golden, you're light, you're love, you're perfect, you're golden, you're my light, my love. When I'm sad and dark, shallow and in doubt, when I'm trying my best to put one foot in front of the other, oh, you're perfect, you're golden, you're the light of my life, you're my love from forever. In your reflection, I'm perfect, so I'll keep looking at you to keep witnessing my perfection. And you as me, oh, you're always there, you never leave, you're holding me, you set me free, your guiding light, your empathy, your confidence to express in and as me. Oh, you're perfect, you're golden, you're the light of my life, you're my love from forever. In your reflection, I'm perfect, so I'll keep looking at you to keep witnessing that I'm perfect, I'm golden, you're the light of my life, you're my love from forever. In your reflection, I'm perfect, so I'll keep looking at you to keep witnessing my perfection. In you as me. Lie-di-di-di-di-di, lie-di-di-di-di, lie-di-di-di-di-di. And all the angels sing, lie-di-di-di-di-di, lie-di-di-di-di, lie-di-di-di-di. You're perfect, golden light, my love. Oh, you're perfect, golden light, my love.
Thanks, Jami. We are so grateful to have you. It's so wonderful to have you back with us, and I can't wait to have you actually in person with us at our new space. So we're so grateful for you and your powerful music. So today, here we are again, and I really love the scripture from the reading this morning, and I'm going to read it to you again. It's Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 27. The eternal God is thy refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms. I just want us to rest in that for a second, that there is this presence of God, the Spirit of God that is our refuge, that is our space of safety. And the everlasting arms, I just have this picture of the infinite just enfolding us and covering us with that love and that comfort and that peace. In that embrace of safety. Can you feel that in there? I just think that it's such a beautiful image, and it's supportive of us, especially with what's going on in the world today. This is the guiding idea for me for my talk today, which is we perfect our good. And that was, again, based from our reading. You know, I've been talking with and connecting with and having discussions with and praying with people these days who I just got to say it, who are hitting their wall in all of this. Many people are stretched as thin as they think that they can be stretched. They've lost their patience with the restrictions that are going on in our lives and are so afraid of this election that some people are just spinning, like top spinning out of control. And then when you add the separation and isolation into the mix, and it's a perfect recipe for just pure suffering, for difficulty, for emotional pain. And the truth is that it doesn't look like this is changing anytime soon. It seems like it's all getting amped up week after week. I can picture myself and remember myself saying this over and over again, you know? And again, this week with this week of high temperatures, and then all these fires that are happening not only in California but all up and down the West Coast. You know, we've had days where the sky was red. It looked like Blade Runner, that movie from the 70s, right? Where it looked post-apocalyptic. And it's been so challenging to watch people suffer and have such a difficult time with everything that's been going on. And as I shared before, I think that this is the time for us to go back to the foundation of what we believe. That our inner work, to find our place in the middle of all that's going on in the world, I'm remembering that it's time to go back to really connect with what we truly believe and to find that presence of God that transcends all of this and connect to it. And what that does for us, what that will do for us, is it'll allow us to stand strong in our power of knowing and in the power of the presence. And then when we move out into the world, when we bring our individual expression out into the world, we go supported by the infinite. We go supported by the truth. And we end up creating a space of more connection and less separation. Because I don't know about you, but I'm getting really frustrated and very sad about all of the division that I'm seeing out in the world. My heart is hurting over the pain that has been created from people just having different opinions and not being able to respect one another. This is something that has weighed heavy on so many people. I've been working with people over the last number of months, and it just has gotten worse and worse. And so I feel like my job as the minister here is to remind us that the spiritual life, that our connection to ourselves, to our truth, is the first thing that we need to strengthen, to move into that place of God, to remember that the core values of love, of harmony, of peace, of respect are the most important things for us to be practicing right now. And in that way, we become a space of healing, a space of light. Again, one of the themes that I'm working with is let's build bridges and not dig ditches right now. Let us use everything that we have to be able to build bridges, to connect, to understand one another, and to deepen our relationship as we walk together through this life and not create more separation and pain and anger and difficulty. one of the things that I've always loved about the science of mind philosophy, which we study and we teach, is that it's real and relevant to our lives. It's a way of putting yourself and your life in the context of the greater life in such a way that you can begin to realize that you do matter in the grand scheme of things. That you have a part to play in what's happening in the world. That we are all called to step up and step out and be the light of understanding, of connection, of peace, whatever that value is that's so important to you. You are called to be that, to express it, to live it, and then to share who you are. And that is the ripple that moves out into the world, inspiring others to be able to do the same. So today I want to address two things. First, I want to talk about how and why it's important that we put God first. We have to remember God. And again, I want you to fill in the word that works for you. Some people have a challenge with the word God. Some people are recovering from challenges of the religions of their youth, that word might not work for you. So maybe it's spirit. Maybe it's universal mind. Maybe it's the one presence. Maybe it's love, the one. Whatever it is for you, we need to remember that presence in our daily lives. We believe that we are one with that divine presence, that there is only one power and one presence that has created all things out of this essence that it is. And so what that means is that each and every one of us is connected at the core to this presence. And so God is not only somewhere up on a cloud, right, making sure that we do what we're supposed to do or that we're good. God is that which is coming forth from within you. God is that still small voice at the center of your being that is always supporting you, that is always loving you, that is always revealing itself not only through you, but around you also. Those moments of synchronicity, those moments that happen where everything seems to align in a way that seems magical, that's the action of God. And so not only is the relationship with spirit, the relationship we have with the divine is so core to our being, that we need to put our attention upon it and remember that. We need to put God first in our daily lives. The second thing I want to remind us, and again, I'm telling you the end at the beginning, so here we go. The second thing I want to remind us all, and myself included in this, is that when we get sucked into the drama and the trauma of the world, we lose sight of the simple concept that we are creative beings. When we get sucked into what's happening out there and forget to connect to God first, forget to connect to the wholeness and the oneness of life first, when we get drawn into the weeds of the problems, we can't see that we are creative beings, that we have a part to play, that we can be actively creative in supporting what wants to come forward here through life. Because again, I say it every week, but this situation is too big to ignore. What's happening in the world right now is too big to ignore. And so what that means is that there's something that wants to be born in this. What is it that wants to be born in this? More connection, a realization of the interconnectedness of life, that we'll get through this once we start working together. I think that that's part of the message. Being able to allow people to have differing opinions with respect and with kindness. Being so connected to your truth, that truth of the divine, that you can allow people to be different, to show up in different ways, and an acknowledgement and a appreciation of the diversity of life all around us. That's what wants to be born. That's what I'm seeing that wants to be born. But we are never going to be able to allow any of those things happen without grounding in the infinite first and realizing that we have a part to play in creating this, in allowing this to come forward. Again, the eternal God is thy refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms. I'm going to say it over and over again today. The eternal God is thy refuge, and underneath are the everlasting arms. We are supported. You may feel alone. You may feel forsaken. You may be angry at what you're seeing out in the world. Maybe a little bit lost. I know, I felt it too. There are moments when I have lost my connection and I forget. I see what's happening and my heart is breaking. And it seems like, I'm not going to say what a lot of people are saying is, what else could happen? I'm not saying that. But the difficulty of those who have lost everything in the fires has been really hard to watch. The lives that have just been decimated when they lose everything. The pain and difficulty in the people who are fighting. We have beloveds who are lifelong friends who are losing relationships just because they're getting into fights on Facebook. It's really difficult to see this and to see all of what's happening out there in the world right now. Such immense amounts of stress. And so the question is, what are we going to do with this? I'm asking myself too, what am I going to do with this? Am I going to allow my fear and my worry and my anger foment within me and turn away from my humanity and my kindness? Or am I going to allow this situation to take me deeper into the heart of God than I've ever gone? And I say this not only for myself, but for you. Are you going to allow the events of the world to steal your heart? Or are you going to allow the events of the world to dig you deeper into a place of faith, so connected, so powerful that you've never been before? The heart of God is within you, and I spoke about that last week. The heart of God is infinite, and there is great support there for all of us and for you, to strengthen and to build you up and to inspire you so that you can in turn move out into the world and be a blessing to all those you meet. I've shared this quote over and over again. It's one of the working quotes. I think of them as workhorses for me, passages from The Science of Mind from Ernest Holmes that remind me and put me back on my center. And this is the one that has really stayed with me in this period of time. And I think it's the core of it is the question that we are all faced with. It says this: stay with the one and never deviate from it. Again, God, the one, is the presence of God. Stay with the one and never deviate from it. Never leave it for a moment. Nothing else can equal this attitude. To desert the truth in the hour of need is to prove that we do not know the truth. When things look the worst, that's the supreme moment to demonstrate to ourselves that there are no obstructions to the operations of truth. When things look the worst, this is the best time, the most satisfying time to do our spiritual work. When things look like they are really difficult and challenging, this is the exact right time for us to go back to our faith and to stand on the rock of our faith, of what we know to be true. We know that there's one presence of God that is goodness, that is revealing itself as goodness, constantly expanding through each and every one of us. We cannot lose sight of that truth. That it not only sources and supports us, but it moves through us into the world, that we are the hands and the hearts of God. And as we allow ourselves to align with that truth, we become channels of love. We become channels of light, of inspiration to all those around us. So, what are you proving to yourself these days? Are you walking as a person of faith? Or are you spinning because you've forgotten who you are? The thing that I fear the most out of all of this that's happening right now is that because of the difficulty that we're experiencing, that we'll begin to lose our humanity. We'll begin to lose our love for one another. The awareness that we are all interconnected. Our kindness. And that's the one thing that I want us to remember is the most important thing to hold on to. and that message has been coming to me left and right in all these different areas. And so the way that it showed up was in a movie this week. And I want to remind you that I am the mother of a child. Now, she's 12, so maybe cartoon movies aren't really her thing as much anymore as they used to be. But in my house, they still are. My husband and I have been watching Moana. It's one of my favorite movies from Disney, and it's if you haven't seen it, it's been out for a couple years. I'm sorry to tell you, I'm going to tell you the end and the twist on it, so I apologize for that. I was known as a child for giving up the endings to things when people were watching them, and I don't mean to do it anymore, so John's giving me the look. I'm sorry that I'm doing this. If you haven't seen Moana, it's really worth it anyways, not only because it's got really amazing music, but this is the story. It's the story of a young girl on an island who is the daughter of a chief. And she was picked from when she was a child by the ocean itself and given a very special rock and a stone. And this stone, as it turns out, was the heart of a goddess named Tafiti. Tafiti was the goddess who brought life and the verdant greenery and all of the plant life and everything, that lush experience of the islands, right? Tafiti was the goddess of that. And her heart was stolen, and it was taken from her, and this is the heart that was given to Moana to return to her. Now there's lots of more to the story that you could get when you watch it, but what happens is Moana is a young teen, and she takes off her island because the heart of the goddess of the abundance was taken away. Everything started to wither and begin to die. The coconut groves began to disintegrate, and the fish dried up from the oceans, and they were dying. And so she took off and went across the ocean by herself on a canoe to go find and return the heart of Tafiti. And so in the end, what happens is she moves into this place where Tafiti's supposed to be, where she's supposed to return the heart, and what she finds is the lava monster named Taka. And the lava monster was this big, scary monster that she had to navigate through these channels to get to the place where Tafiti was. And what happens is she does it. She becomes a great way shower and sails through into the space where she goes to give the heart back to Tafiti. And what she realizes is that Tafiti's gone. And when she turns around and looks at this lava monster, she realizes that this is Tafiti without her heart. That the heart had been taken from her, and she became this scary, angry, volcanic expression, and she realizes what has to happen. So she stands there and she calls forth to this lava monster, and as she allows this big monster to come to her, and she sings this beautiful song. I am not going to sing this to you, but this is what's been going through my head this week. She says to Taka, she says, I have crossed the horizon to find you. I know your name. They have stolen the heart from within you, but this does not define you. This is not who you are. And she reminds her, you know who you are, who you truly are. And she places the heart back into her. And she transforms from the lava monster back into this beautiful, gorgeous goddess that is Tafiti. And everything is renewed and refreshed, and it's beautiful. And it's a beautiful story, and it's really wonderful, and the music's really great. But that is what I'm afraid that's happening here. That's what I'm afraid that we are allowing the world to steal our hearts. The world to steal our understanding and our connection to one another. When we forget that this is a spiritual life, that we operate under a divine government, that consciousness reigns, we lose our hearts. And we become the lava monster, fueled by anger and hatred. And when that happens, all would be lost. but it's through our hearts, through our connection, that we are able to bring forth that new creativity, that new creation. We want to remember that where the Spirit of the Lord is, there's liberty, freedom. Freedom from fear, from anxiety, from anger, from insecurity and doubt. All of those negative emotions are what's fueling the pain of the world right now. But we can transcend that by deepening into the heart of the divine. One of the spiritual laws that we study teaches us that what we put our attention on expands. It's a simple concept, but it really is true. So when we dig into a position, when we dig into what we think is right, not from a place of truth or a place of spiritual understanding, but from a place of my opinion, I know that this is right and that is wrong, what we're doing is creating more conflict, and it just makes it worse. So all of that fighting, all of that anger, all of that division is just creating more pain and anger, which creates more pain and anger, which we're putting our attention on, which what? Creates more pain and anger. My example of that is that I want you to think of a young child toddling down a path, right? You remember that drunken walk when they're learning how to walk and they're moving down the path, And what happens is they lose their step and they fall over. But what happens next? What happens next depends on the parent, right? Have you ever seen that happen where they look at you, they look at the parent, and let me tell you, if the mom flips out, if the mom freaks out, oh my goodness, are you okay? What do they hear next? Wah! The baby starts crying, and just starts screaming and is, But if the mom just looks and says, you're okay, the baby just gets back up and keeps going, down the path. And so we have a choice as to what's happening in the world right now. Are we going to start screaming about these conflicts and these difficulties? Or are we going to stand in the truth to know that, yeah, you're okay. We're okay. It's okay. And allow life to move forward. We want to minimize the conflict. Again, building bridges, not digging ditches. And we begin to do this by developing a deep understanding of our connection to God. The Spirit of the Lord is ever with us. We need to put our attention upon it, to commune with it, to welcome it, and allow its strength and power to guide and support us. The second thing I wanted to talk about and remind us was that we are creative beings. One of my favorite spiritual teachers is a unity minister named Eric Butterworth. In his book, The Universe is Calling, he shares the story of the Quakers and their phrase, when you pray, you move your feet. Now, in Science of Mind, we've adopted that where we call our way of praying spiritual mind treatment. So we have adopted that saying to treat and move your feet. And you'll hear that a lot. People will say it. We talk about it in class all the time. But it's the same concept. First you pray, and then you act. Right? First we pray, and then we move forward. We treat and we move our feet. Butterworth goes on to explain it. He says to expect the answer through you, in guidance and direction, through your consciousness, and then get busy being what you have affirmed. And so when we are not in a position where we're just going to know God and sit and put our head in the sand and pretend that nothing is happening around us. That's not walking the spiritual path. What we are doing is we are connecting and communing with God so deeply so that we get our marching orders, that we get the direction, we get the inspiration as to how to bring forth what we want to see in the world. But we have to do the treatment first. We can't sit on the sidelines and wait for the world to get fixed. There's a lot of things to be done right now. When you see something that rubs you the wrong way, something that you want to see be different in the world, first you go to prayer. You go into that secret place of the Most High within you and find that space of truth, beyond separation, beyond right and wrong. The true nature that wants to be born. And then you get busy being that. Not doing, it's being it. We want to embody the presence and allow our lives to be the example of how to be in the world. First in your mind, and then in your life, and then out in the world. It has to be in that order. It has to be in that order. If you go out in the world without grounding in the presence first, it's only you and your personal power, which is limited. You're alone in your endeavor. But when you are inspired by the presence within you, you have the power that created the universe and all things behind you, supporting you. From Colossians 1, 11-12. May you be made strong with all the strength that comes from his glorious power. And may you be prepared to endure everything with patience while joyfully giving thanks to the Father who has enabled you to share the inheritance of all the saints in the light. When we allow God to be God in our lives, when we allow ourselves to be steeped in that presence and allow ourselves to be that instrument of the One, we are strengthened and supported. We are guided. And the power of the infinite that has created the entire universe is there with you, and nothing is impossible. I've been reading a lot of Ernest Holmes lately, and the truth is trying to figure out how we should navigate this time between now and the election and now and everything that's happening. And I'm going to talk a little bit more. I've got a couple of things coming up. We're going to offer some stuff in the coming months. But for me, I keep going back to one of the final talks that Ernest Holmes gave. It was his last talk at Asilomar. There was a summer conference for religious science for years and years and years. And Ernest Holmes, who was our founder, gave what they call the Sermon by the Sea in the summer of 1959. He shared his vision of the outcome of global well-being. The human species and Earth transformed by the consciousness that he had articulated in the Science of Mind. It was really his vision. It was really prophetic. It's a beautiful talk. And it's his vision of who we can be as studying this spiritual philosophy and those who embody it. I'm going to share a couple of excerpts from it with you today. He says this: "Find me one person who is for something and against nothing, who is redeemed enough not to condemn others out of the burden of their soul, and I will find another Savior, another Jesus, and an exalted human being. Find me one person who no longer has any fear of the universe or of God or of humanity or of anything else, and you will have brought to me someone in whose presence we may sit, and fear shall vanish as clouds before the sunlight. Find me someone who has given all that they have in love, and I will have found the lover of my soul. Is this not true? Why? Because they will have revealed to me the nature of God and proved to me the possibility of all human souls." This is what religious science stands for, he says. It is not a new dogmatism. It is not a new authority. Find me one person who can get their own littleness out of the way, and they shall reveal to me the immeasurable magnitude of the universe in which I live. You find me 1,000 people in the world who know what religious science is and use it and live it as it is, and I'll myself live to see a new world, a new heaven, and a new earth here. There is a cosmic power wrapped up in a cosmic consciousness and purposiveness that is equal to the vision which releases it. He's saying that if we live this truth, if we live in the divine communion and know all as expressions of God, that we can create a whole new experience for everybody, because our lives will be the answers to the prayers that have been prayed. Again, he says, find me one person who is for something and against nothing. And I need to tell you that phrase itself is how I am navigating this election season. And I'm encouraging each of us to do the same. To be for something and against nothing. We can stand up for what we believe. We can stand up for those candidates and for those situations and for those things that we believe in without having to be against anything. We can respect those who have differing opinions. They get to have their opinions too. They get to stand up for what they believe. But let us be the ones who honor the truth that God is in all things. And instead of making it a right and wrong situation, let us just be the light and bring forth what it is that we believe. So as we do this, we want our motivations to be centered in truth. Let us get clear about what we want to see created in this world. Not just fight against something and we want to have the vision of what you want to see. And so a lot of the conversation has been not this. We want this, but not this. Our attention on not this is expanding the concept of not. What we want to do is get clear about what it is that we're wanting to see happen in our country right now. Let's be a channel of divine creativity to happen. You know, the vision of Centers for Spiritual Living as an organization is a world that works for everyone. And I still think that's really broad. But what's alive in that is respect. I want to see more respect in the world. I want to see more freedom in the world. Choice, kindness, compassion, understanding, humanity. Let us be for that. Let us contemplate it. Let us affirm it. Let us live it. Let us be it. And then watch as it's created all around us. That is how we perfect our good. And so in this week, I invite you to join me in affirming the goodness of God in our own individual lives, and then become a channel of light unto the world. And so it is. Amen. Thank you, everybody. So, with that, I'm going to welcome Jami Lula back from afar. Jami, your turn.
Good morning. This is some new Floyd Lula music for you. A song called What Can I Do Today? Long to feel the stillness of a morning rain, with the slightest hint of thunder rattle in the window pane. Smell of eucalyptus in a sacred grove, as I walk my meditation where I'm thinking of what can I do today to leave the world a little better? Universe has perfected every color and hue. What can I do today to leave the world a little better? Lend a hand, do my part, see the best of your heart, Lord. Tell me, what can I do today? What can I do today? Pulled the weeds and watered the roses in bed, swept the walk of baggage I've been standing in, emptied out the stagnant air that I breathe. Need a taste of sunshine to enliven my dream. What can I do today to leave the world a little better? Universe has perfected every color and hue. What can I do today to leave the world a little better? Lend a hand, do my part, see the best of your heart, Lord. Tell me, what can I do today? 'Cause no one's got the time to wait for the next generation. It's time to step up to our own emancipation. We're black and brown, red, yellow, and white in a world without nation. It's a home, it's our own, and we've grown, oh, we've known. Oh, Lord, yeah. What can I do today to leave the world a little better? The universe has perfected every color and hue. What can I do today to leave the world a little better? Lend a hand, do my part, see the best of your heart. Lord, tell me, what can I do today to leave the world a little better? Universe has perfected every color and hue. Oh, what can I do today to leave the world a little better? Lend a hand, do my part, see the best of your heart. Lord, tell me, what can I do today? What can I do today? What can I do today? What can I do today?
Great. So we're just so grateful to have been able to have Jami with us today. Isn't that great, John?
It is really
so
great.
Wonderful.
It's really great.
We love you, Jami. You're the best, and we can't wait to have you back to our new place when
In
we're
person.
there. I know, it's going to be so great. It's going to be eventually.
Yes.
We know it's coming. We know it's coming.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It is.
So this is a time of our service when I have the opportunity to remind you about sacred giving. Again, we've been talking over the last couple of weeks, you know, and I'm just going to be honest and transparent about it. We have seen our donations fall off greatly, and we're a little bit in a bind again. And so I'm going to, with love and with gratitude, just invite everyone to participate in supporting us in stepping through this challenging time in any level that you can. We have a couple of ways for you to share your offering. You could hit the donate button on our website. You could call the number. We've got our phone up and running again, 951-304-0268. Or you could mail it in, and Tina's going to put our mailing address into the chat today. I do not have it. So new. I don't have it yet.
I've got the old one.
I don't have it yet. I know.
I know it's up to us.
You know, 4.5 years later, I finally learned the old address, and then we moved, which is like so like me to do that. But so we'll have. So we are getting our mail. We moved into our offices this week, and I'm actually moving into my office this coming week. But our furniture's there, and it's so beautiful. It's really great. I'm very excited about that. But those are the ways that you could share your offering with us, and just know that we are so grateful. You know, this time of quarantine and COVID has been so challenging and for so many people, and any offering, any gift that you share with us is absolutely meaningful and supportive and makes a big difference to us. So we are grateful for that. So I'm gonna take my phone, because I do it on my phone, put it on my heart, and you can maybe put your hand on your heart and just bless the gift that you intend to give, knowing that this goes forth to support this vision of being a light, support, and inspiration to so many, not only in Temecula Valley, but across the country and across the world. Knowing that this message moves out to inspire and to support all those who are prepared, who can hear this message. And I just bless this spiritual community that is CSLTV, knowing that we move forward in prosperity and abundance and love and light, sourced and supported from on high, as is the truth of each and every one of us. And so I bless it, I give thanks for it, and allow it to be. And so it is. Amen. Our affirmation, ready? Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am prosperous now. Yes.
God and say amen.
thank you to John. You're so great. Thanks for doing this with me. And I want to say thank you to Jami Lula for his beautiful music, and we're so grateful for you, Jami. Thank you so much. I want to say thank you to Diane Keys, our administrator, and Tina Foltz, who is our host for the day. Thank you, Diane and Tina. You guys are so wonderful. We're so grateful for you. And so let's see, I have a few announcements. Our book study is going strong Wednesday mornings from 10 to noon. They're doing Creativity by Matthew Fox. Our men's ministry is meeting regularly, weekly, 2 weeks online, 2 weeks online, 2 weeks in person. Reach out to Reverend Michael Summers for that. Our Sisters in Spirit group is meeting twice a month, once online, once in person. You can reach out to Pam Migliozzi for that. Our Spiritual Connection at 7 series is continuing, so 7 a.m., 7 p.m., 5 days a week. I think I got this down, huh? We do a 20-minute meditation, and it's really a great way. Again, I'm going to do the invitation. If you've been thinking, maybe I'll try that, maybe I will, you know what, this is the week to do it. Let's start to get grounded in the presence and really give yourself an opportunity to find that connection within you so that you can get inspired as to how you want to be out in the world. So join us 7 a.m., 7 p.m. That's led by myself and our practitioners, and we're so grateful for that time. It's wonderful to have a connection. So let's see, we are continuing the conversation on race in America with a book study, and that's going to begin on Wednesday, September 30th. So we're finalizing all of that, but it will be Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and starting September 30th, and we're going to use the Spiritual Connection at 7 link. So starting on the 30th, a couple weeks from now, we're going to go back into just seeing how we can be a light unto this challenge in the world right now and in our country, and we're going to do it through a book study. Don Taylor, our practitioner Don Taylor, and I are going to be leading that, and I'm so happy that we're doing that. And I'm really excited. You don't even know about this. I'm very excited. I am starting a new class, and this is a class that I've put together for the election season. So if all of that's going on in the world right now is making you spin a little bit, this is the perfect class to take with me. This is called God, Grace, and the Government. And it's 6 weeks. It's going to be on Thursday evenings at 6 o'clock, and it's going to start Thursday, September 24th. So it's 6 weeks. So it's going to start the 24th, and it's going to go straight to the Thursday before the election. And this is based on a book by Joel Goldsmith, who is one of our favorites. He has a book called The Government of Eden. And this just came, it's one of those things that it's like, have you ever had a book pop onto your lap?
Plunk.
You know, it just popped into my lap. And it is so pertinent to these times. And it's been so supportive in aligning the spiritual life and our spiritual understanding with what we're seeing happening out in the world and how we can align to a higher understanding. So I put together a little class on it, and we're going to start then. So all the information is going to come out on the website and on our Facebook and in our Evite this next week, and you'll be able to register for it and grab this book, and I'm so excited about it. It's going to be great. And so that's what I got. So it's kind of a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. We've got a lot going on. It's after Labor Day, right? It's time to get back at it. So let's get back to it and connect to the truth. So with that, I think we should pray.
Sure.
All right. Great.
Yeah,
I'll pray.
Let's
Absolutely.
do it.
All right. So let's just come together in consciousness here. Sinking into this moment and remembering the infinite, divine source of all life that I call God. That spirit that moves and breathes itself into being in all as all. I know God as that divine love, that divine peace, that light, that wholeness, that perfection. It is a truth of this life. It is a truth of each and every one of us. And so in this moment on this day, I speak my word knowing God revealing itself to us, through us, as us, inspiring each of us not only to connect to that powerful truth of who we truly are, that space of the heart, that love that really can't be lost. And allow that light to guide us as we step forth to be for something. To put our attention on that which we want to see expand. More love, more light, more compassion, more peace, more harmony. And allow everything else to just fade and surrender itself. Let us use our lives as a bridge of connection and surrender this separation. Knowing that all is part of this divine life, part of God's being, and allowing the love that is the truth of who we are to be experienced, expressed, and shared. And in that I know all is well. I also speak a word of peace, of support to all those who are affected by the fires happening up and down the West Coast. Knowing that our brave firefighters are strengthened and supported and energized by the Infinite One. They are sourced and they are safe. And that these fires calm down and step into a place of peace. Let us all know this cool, calm space to allow for this experience to come to an end swiftly, easily, and effortlessly. And I simply surround anyone who's affected by these fires in love and comfort and peace, knowing that they have what they need. And so with a grateful heart, to see God in action and to know the powerful path of life that we are walking, I simply surrender my word in gratitude, knowing God here now, and so it is.
There was a time in my life I thought I had to do it all myself. Didn't know the grace of God was sufficient. Didn't know the love of God was at hand. Now I can say that if you are discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you got to let it go, let it all go. And listen what you have to say. I release and I let go, letting the Spirit of my life and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I'll see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only for God. I release and I let go, let the Spirit from my life and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
And as we step forth into this week, I know that we open to the divine life and perfect our good. And so it is.
And so it is.
Happy Sunday, everybody.
Happy Sunday.
Take care. Be well. We love you. We miss you.